Hey everybody, it's Flyin Ryan here with another review, and I've had a lot of requests to review the UDI U818A. So now they've actually come out with the U818A-1, so I figured this was a good opportunity to go ahead and review what people have asked, and now it's a new upgraded version and a little more pertinent of a review now that there's a new model. So hopefully everybody will be happy to see this review. And like I said, it is now HD upgrade, so it has an HD camera now, which I guess the original one must have had an SD camera. The angle is not adjustable though, so it has a little bit of a downward angle. It's not too bad, but it's kind of weird that, I mean, it looks like the lens was intended to be adjustable, but it's like glued in place or something. I don't know, but you can't adjust the angle. And you know, with this big frame, like the U816A is actually my suggestion for indoor beginner quad. It's basically the same design but in a micro form. But with a bigger quad like this, that it's intended for outdoor flying, I don't really understand the point of this frame. And it's not really meant to be removed. It's kind of, I don't know, it's sort of permanently on there, and this whole centerpiece is kind of built around it, and there's no extra like outdoor body or whatever. So the frame kind of ends up acting like a wind sail, so it gets pushed around a bit in the wind, so you'd want a calmer day. But I guess if you're a beginner and you wanted to start out with something bigger for outdoor and filming, this would still work well to protect you in crashes and whatnot. But it makes it a little bit harder to fly in the wind. But yeah, let's go ahead and look at the transmitter here. Let's see, what do we have? We've got on the left bumper is the flip mode, so you press that and move the right stick in whatever direction you want to flip, and because of, the big frame, it's a little slow to recover on the flips. Let's see, we've got the right bumper turns off the LEDs, and you'll see there's a strip of LEDs on each side. And there's a little headlight LED here, and then there's LEDs in each motor pod. So the back, it has red LEDs, and the front, I forget if they're like red or the red in the back, and I think the front are blue maybe. And then these are white, and the headlight is white. But when you press this right bumper, it just turns off these and the headlight. It doesn't turn off the motor pod LEDs. So I'm not really sure what the purpose of that is and why it deserves an entire shoulder button, but whatever. Your speed button is down here on the front display, so I would have rather see the speed be up here and put my LEDs down here out of the way. The camera operating buttons are on the other side here. You've got your picture and video buttons. And let's see, it comes with 2 batteries, which is pretty nice. I've got 1 battery already in there, and then this is the other battery, and they are 500 milliamp hour batteries, so pretty nice big batteries. And it has this really cool dual port JST charger, which I was really excited just to have in general because I don't have any dual JST chargers. But I did find it kind of odd that they've got these plus and minus indicators, but one side is actually backwards, and you can see through there. You see the red wire goes to this side, so that's plus, so that side's right, and then this side, here's the red wire goes, and it says it's negative. So they just forgot to flip the plus and the minus on this side, so that's kind of funny. But I figured that was worth pointing out in case somebody looks at that and panics. But you can verify it by looking through the plastic and seeing where the red wire is. And both sides are the same polarity, and both batteries are the same polarity. So when you plug it in, your red wire is plus on the right, and again, plus on the right, even though the display is wrong. Anyway, moving along, we've got a spare set of props. We've actually got a few little gears replacements. Those are what go on the motor shaft and then connect to the main gear there. Another spare screwdriver, and then a USB card reader, and it does come with a memory card, which is 2 gigabytes, so not a very big memory card for an HD camera, so you'll have to clear your videos off fairly regularly. Let's see. Oh, and I told you here's the rates button. It has 2 rates and only 1 yaw rate, and it's fairly slow on the yaw. But again, you know, this is an aerial video quad. It's not a sport quad or anything, so that's understandable for this type of quad. You get about 4-minute flights with like a 1:40 long LVC warning. And I think there was an audio LVC, and I think it came from the transmitter. I forget now. I have a note here saying audio LVC question mark, so I must have noticed that during the flight and then forgot to investigate it. But there was some form of beeping letting you know as well. I don't remember if that was from the quad or the transmitter, so that's kind of cool though to have an audio warning. But yeah, 4-minute flights with a 1:40 LVC, so like 5 minutes and 40 second total. So not super long flights, you know, probably because of this big frame on it. But you know, if you really wanted to, you probably could remove the frame and make it work out, but then why are you buying this quad in the first place? So I think this is more, you know, geared towards beginners, or maybe even flying indoors in a gym or something where you may be bouncing off walls or something. Let's see, what else did I have to say about it? Oh, you can recalibrate it, and this is one of those ones where you have to do it right after binding. So, you know, plug the battery in, turn on your transmitter, but then before you give that, or no, you want to give throttle to bind it, but then before you give that first throttle where the motors spin up, just right after binding it, you need to put both sticks down right. Then it'll recalibrate. But once you start the motor spinning, then you can't recalibrate it. You have to do it right after binding. So that's always a little bit weird. You know, once you started flying, if you notice it's not calibrated, you've got to unplug the battery and restart. So yeah, that's about all I've got to say about it. So we'll go ahead and take it outdoors and do a flight, and then we'll, you know, do some onboard footage and check out what that looks like. So yeah, let's go see it. Alright, this is a flight review of the UDI U818A-1, the new upgraded HD camera. And it does have some blue LEDs on the front motor pods and red on the back. And it has a white headlight and white around the camera. And you can turn off the white headlight and white around the camera with the right bumper, but it does not turn off the other LEDs. So that's kind of weird. Not exactly sure why you'd ever want to do that. Go ahead and give her a flight in high rates. A little bit of a breeze, so we'll see how it does in the wind with that big old frame on it. Yaw rate's pretty slow. That's full yaw, full yaw. Yeah, it's not loving the breeze I've got going right now. Not really sure what this is intended to be flown as. Like with the big frame, you'd think it's for indoor, but it's so big for indoor that I don't really know what the intention is. I mean, it flies well, it's just that frame kind of acts like a sail in the wind. Do some flips. A little sloppy on the flip recovery with the frame, but not too bad. Throttle, throttle, throttle. Oh, yep, didn't have the throttle to punch out of that one. Little dandelion wrapped around the motor. Little hand launch. Let's start some video. Don't want to get up too high in the wind with that frame, just get blown out of town. Feels like it's pretty stable up there though. Just make you dizzy a little bit. Bring it back for a droney. A little overhead droney. So the U818A is my recommendation for beginners because of the foam frame and the small size. You can fly that thing in your house and bounce it off everything. So I think this would be a good one for, you know, again, for beginners that are looking for something maybe for outdoors and with a camera on it. You could even fly it in your, you know, living room and bounce it off stuff, but it is a little bit more of a handful to fly, just especially out in the wind, because of the way the frame, you know, fights your flight. It's like I think, is that from my filming? Yeah, let's turn off the camera now. Oh, the white lights are blinking. Not sure what that means. But it, you know, it is pretty easy to fly, pretty well protected with the frame on it. Alright, well, I think that was a good flight demo. Bring it in for a landing. There we go. That's the UDI U818A-1. So many numbers and letters. Pretty cool little beginner's camera quad, and you got the HD camera on it now. So I think if you're looking to get started, this would, you know, be a decent one for beginners. So check the video description for price and purchase link. I thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.